Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Sold in 2016, but timeless in style, this is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Day-Date 118209, 36 millimeters in white gold. It has a lovely cherry metallic dial, and it is an unconventional look for a Day-Date. So 36 millimeters in diameter in white gold. It's 12.3 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip. It measures 43.2 millimeters, and if we include the end links of this Oyster bracelet, it has a span of 47.2 millimeters across the wrist with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist to get a good sense of its size, and you can see that it is a very traditional size. The original Datejust and the original Day-Date, launched in the 40s and 50s respectively, were both 36 millimeters in diameter, which was considered a substantial men's case at the time. Now, the watch still wears nicely on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. With plenty of clearance on both sides, I could recommend this for him or for her, and wrists as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. You can see that with a domed bezel, another one of the unconventional features, the watch will slide easily underneath the cuff, and it has a nice weight to it. So, what does make this watch unconventional for a Day-Date? Well, first, there's the cherry dial. Second, there's the domed bezel, which looks more like what you'd find on an Oyster Perpetual, as most gold Rolex bezels are fluted, not domed. Then we have the Oyster bracelet, which is a sports design more commonly seen on Daytonas and GMTs, Submariners, and Sea Dwellers. And then we have the crown clasp inside of that Oyster bracelet. So the crown clasp has always been part of the President bracelet, and the idea was always that the only sign of the partition point between the two halves is the 5-point coronet. Well, now we have that, but we've got it on a burlier, sportier Oyster-style bracelet. There is a lift lock system. You can see that there is a vertical hinged trigger that has to be unlatched from the beacon hook interface to open up. So this is not friction fit like some old Oyster bracelet or crown clasp on a President. So in the past, crown clasps were often associated with friction or snap fit. Here it's very much a lift lock system. Now the bracelet, like the case, like the clasp, is made of gray gold. So Rolex uses gray gold. Rolex owns its own foundry. It smelts its own alloys. It makes its own cases, bracelets, and clasps. And by using gray gold, Rolex creates a 18-karat white alloy that never needs to be plated, and if scratched, it's the same color underneath. Now, taking a quick look at the bracelet, you can see that there's an interplay of differential finish, polish, and satin. There's a little bit of a taper coming down from the conforming end link, and then removable links are fixed in place using screws. You can also see that there's a half-size link in there for fine-tuning the fit. Jumping around to the case, this is the classical Oyster case that we've known since 1926. We have a screwed-in case back. We have a screw-down twin-lock crown in gold. We know that because a twin-lock crown in gold has two symmetrical dots. 100-meter water resistance. This is a sportier take on the Day-Date. They don't all have loomed dials. This one does, which makes it exceptionally practical as an all-the-time watch. Now, what really sets it apart is that dramatic cherry metallic sunburst dial. So you have that metallic sunburst radiating out from the center. We have a railroad track outboard for reading your seconds and minutes. Outboard of each hour index, there's a little stylized Roman numeral, and then each one of the indices is made of white gold along with the hands and the Rolex crown to resist oxidation and tarnish over time. The watch is a double quickset Day-Date, so you can see we have a hacking or stop seconds function, so we can set the watch to a reference time. Then we have a double quickset, so I can set the day and I can set the date separately. Inside the case, Rolex manufactured caliber 3155, bidirectional automatic winding, 48-hour power reserve, 8 beats per second, 31 joules, a certified Swiss COSC chronometer adjusted in 5 positions and to temperatures. The movement has a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance for shock tolerance and precise adjustment, and it uses a handmade overcoil hairspring so that in any tested position or untested position during the COSC test, the watch is going to keep a very consistent time, and that hairspring is a blue oxidized niobium zirconium alloy that is highly anti-magnetic, so there is a lot to love about this movement. Reach out to tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.